She brings a compassionate, whole body and inclusive approach, blending diet, self care, stress, sleep, movement, joy, and honoring each person's unique background. Can you share a little bit of your personal journey? What led you to your lupus diagnosis, and how did that moment change your relationship with food and self care? Or did that kind of take time?
Yes, definitely. So I'll start with my story. So my story with autoimmune disease started a very long time ago. In my early teens, I was first diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So basically, my immune system was attacking my thyroid. Also, in my teens, I got another autoimmune diagnosis, ITP, so idiopathic thrombocytopenia. That means that my platelets were really low. Yes, I've also had my immune system attack my liver. I have also had a lot of other autoimmune kind of flare ups and a new diagnosis throughout my teens and 20s. Now, lupus was my last diagnosis. It was in my late 20s. And at that point, I had already been working as a dietitian. So I felt as though, okay, all of these autoimmune things, I've got to do something about it. But at the point that I was diagnosed with lupus, I was having a lot of joint pain, a lot of flares, losing hair. My labs were really kind of a disaster. And I had been working out 5 days a week, socializing with my friends, working as a dietitian in a hospital with very long hours, and really been busy and not felt impeded by my autoimmune diagnoses. I felt, okay, they're controlled, no big deal. I can live my life. And I was feeling great. But then the lupus diagnosis and those flares that led, they were kind of all a cluster, that really changed from a very active life to kind of like a screeching halt.
As you're talking about all this, I'm okay. Once again, autoimmune diseases like friends. You can't have just one.
No, no. Yes, they often beget more and more. Unfortunately, when your immune system is so activated, I feel like it's kind of like a lava field where the lava just like spurts out over here and then spurts out over here. It's like the inflammation just can't be kept down. So it's just coming out in different ways.
It's like once it's triggered, it's like a water bottle that gets punctured a million times. It's going to find its way to get out somehow.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting getting started with diagnoses at such a young age, how did that affect friendships and activities and all that kind of thing?
Sure, that's a great question. So I will say it was probably the reason why I decided to be a registered dietitian because I learned very young when I eat a little bit healthier, I feel better. Because certainly for my thyroid, that affected my energy. I had been in and out of the hospital quite a lot throughout my teens and 20s, sometimes in the hospital for a month at a time while they were trying to figure out what was wrong with me. So I integrally knew, okay, I have to take care of myself.
Eliminating your own flares is such a triumph. What were the first practical shifts that you made in your diet or lifestyle that really made you feel like you were seeing relief?
Yeah, definitely. So diet was one big thing. I tried a lot of things. Another thing that was really big for me was understanding, okay, rest has to take a priority. I need to go to bed earlier. I need to make sure that I'm getting in good quality sleep and to be more gentle with my exercise. Especially, I had just never had lupus flares before. I'd had flares of other autoimmune diseases, and that was a different approach. I had to take in more rest, more relaxation, and then more autoimmune, anti inflammatory foods for that autoimmune flare. So it was different despite living with other autoimmune diseases for years and years before that.
Did you start to notice what triggers your inflammation?
Yeah, definitely. Which was, again, kind of building that toolkit of, okay, this is how my fantastic, amazing, sometimes confusing body works. And now, because I've helped so many other people, I can kind of have a collection of, well, you present with these sorts of symptoms. This is what your labs look like. This is the pathway that's probably going to help you the most, which is
Yeah.
really
What are your personal biggest triggers?
I mean, this one actually applies to a lot of people. If I get sick, like an infection, or my body's already fighting something else, that's when I know, okay, it's time to go into like R&R mode of I need to prioritize rest. I need to prioritize anti-inflammatory foods. We're going to take a break on exercise. My goals for those other parts of my life, like maybe strength training or